Most seniors I meet tell me they eat nuts every day because they've heard their heart healthy. And that's true. Nuts can be powerful medicine. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. Not every nut is good for seniors. In fact, some of the most common nuts, the ones you probably see in every grocery store aisle, can quietly raise your blood pressure, upset your digestion, or even increase joint pain if you eat them regularly. But here's the exciting part. While some of these popular nuts may be working against you, there are other nuts, less familiar, often overlooked, that can do the exact opposite. These rare and underappreciated nuts are packed with nutrients that can strengthen your legs, improve memory, reduce nerve pain, and even protect your heart in ways that the common nuts simply cannot. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and for more than 20 years, I've helped seniors use food as medicine to stay strong and independent. And today, I want to guide you through both sides of the story. First, the 5 worst nuts you should never touch. The ones everyone thinks are healthy, but can quietly harm your body. Then, we'll uncover the 5 best nuts you should be eating every single day. Unique, less well-known nuts that carry powerful benefits most people have never even heard about. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which nuts to avoid and which ones to add to your daily routine. Some of them will surprise you, but I promise they can make all the difference for your nerves, your circulation, and your long-term health. So let's begin with the very first nut on our list. It looks creamy, tastes mild, and shows up in trail mixes and even in milk alternatives. Many people believe it's harmless, even heart-friendly. But for seniors, it carries hidden risks that can quietly damage your kidneys and joints. I'm talking about cashews. Cashews are one of the most common nuts in the American diet. They're creamy, versatile, and often marketed as a healthy choice. You'll find them in trail mixes, stir-fries, dairy-free milks, and even as a smooth nut butter. Many seniors pick cashews thinking they're gentler on the stomach than peanuts, or more affordable than walnuts. But here's the truth. Cashews may be one of the worst nuts for older adults because even small amounts can create problems for the kidneys, joints, and overall metabolism. The main issue lies in oxalates, natural compounds that cashews contain in high amounts. Oxalates combined with calcium inside the body, forming sharp crystals that collect in the kidneys. Over time, these crystals can develop into painful kidney stones. For younger people, the kidneys may manage the strain, but for seniors, whose kidney function naturally declines with age, even a handful of cashews a few times a week can be enough to raise the risk. I think of Mrs. Harris, a 69-year-old retired librarian. She believed she was eating smart by replacing her evening cookies with a small bowl of cashews. Within a year, she developed recurring kidney stones that left her doubled over in pain and visiting the emergency room more than once. When her doctor traced the problem, cashews turned out to be the hidden culprit. Once she cut them out and switched to safer nuts, her stones stopped forming. Cashews are also a hidden problem for seniors with gout or arthritis. Their high oxalate content can trigger joint pain by promoting uric acid buildup. Seniors who already struggle with stiff, inflamed joints may notice their discomfort worsening when cashews are part of their routine. And then there's the calorie trap. Just 1 ounce of cashews, about 18 nuts, contains 160 calories and 12 grams of fat. For seniors with slower metabolism, those calories add up quickly. Gaining even a few extra pounds increases the burden on the heart, raises blood pressure, and puts more stress on already vulnerable knees and hips. Another overlooked risk. Most cashews are sold roasted and salted. That extra sodium is dangerous for anyone managing high blood pressure, swelling in the legs, or heart disease. Even the unsalted versions don't eliminate the oxalate problem. They just remove the salt. Scientific evidence supports these concerns. Research in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology confirms that oxalate-rich foods like cashews are a major driver of kidney stone formation. Doctors often recommend that patients over 60 with a history of stones or kidney issues limit or complete So what's the bottom line? Cashews might look harmless, but for seniors, they are anything but. Their high oxalate content makes them risky for kidneys. Their calories encourage weight gain, and their compounds can worsen joint pain. Unlike other nuts, they don't offer unique benefits that outweigh the risks. If cashews are sitting in your pantry right now, consider swapping them for safer, more protective options, like the lesser-known nuts we'll cover later in this video. Remember, at this stage in life, even small daily choices, like which nuts you snack on, can mean the difference between protecting your health and quietly harming it. 2. Brazil nuts, the selenium overdose. If cashews are a quiet danger for your kidneys, then Brazil nuts are a hidden threat for your entire body chemistry. These large, smooth nuts come from the Amazon rainforest and are often praised as one of the richest natural sources of selenium, a mineral that supports thyroid health, immunity, and antioxidant defense. On the surface, that sounds like a blessing. Many health magazines even call Brazil nuts nature's selenium supplement. But here's the catch. When it comes to selenium, more is not better. In fact, even a small serving of Brazil nuts can push seniors into dangerous territory. One single Brazil nut can contain anywhere from 68 to 91 micrograms of selenium, which is more than the entire recommended daily intake for adults, 55 micrograms. That means if you eat just 2 or 3 Brazil nuts, you're already at nearly 200 to 300% of your daily needs. Seniors who snack on a handful, thinking they're protecting their heart or brain, may actually be slowly overdosing on selenium. Excess selenium causes a condition called selenosis. Symptoms include fatigue, brittle nails, hair loss, nausea, and in more severe cases, heart rhythm disturbances and nervous system damage. For seniors who may already struggle with fatigue, weak hair, or irregular heartbeat, these symptoms are easy to miss and often get blamed on just getting older. In reality, it could be the Brazil nuts. I remember Mr. Collins, a 72-year-old retired engineer who proudly ate 5 Brazil nuts every morning because he'd read they were good for the prostate. Over several months, he developed persistent fatigue, his fingernails began to crack, and his wife noticed his hair was thinning rapidly. Blood tests later showed selenium levels far above normal. Once he stopped eating Brazil nuts, his symptoms slowly improved. The scientific evidence is clear. A review in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition highlighted that selenium has a U-shaped curve of benefit. Too little increases disease risk, but too much can be just as harmful. With Brazil nuts, the danger is that the line between enough and too much is razor thin. And here's the problem for seniors. Metabolism slows with age. Kidneys process minerals less efficiently, and medication interactions can make selenium toxicity worse. That means even just a couple of Brazil nuts, eaten regularly, can quietly damage health over time. So what's the bottom line? Brazil nuts may look exotic and healthy, but for older adults, they're simply too concentrated to be safe. Unlike other nuts, where a handful offers balanced nutrition, Brazil nuts deliver a megadose of selenium that the aging body cannot handle. If you enjoy their flavor, save them for a very rare treat. No more than 1 nut on occasion. But for daily health protection, skip the Brazil nuts and look to safer, more balanced nuts that provide their benefits without the toxic risks. Remember, not all superfoods are super for seniors. Sometimes what seems like a small, healthy habit can quietly chip away at your strength and independence. 3. Pine nuts, the nut that can spoil your taste. Pine nuts are often seen as elegant. They show up in gourmet salads, fancy pasta dishes, and of course, pesto sauce. Many seniors view them as a refined, heart-healthy nut, often more expensive than peanuts or almonds. And it's true, pine nuts do contain healthy fats and some valuable nutrients. But here's the surprising danger. A certain variety of pine nuts can cause a strange and unsettling condition known as pine mouth. Pine mouth is a taste disturbance that develops a day or two after eating some pine nuts. People describe it as a constant metallic, bitter taste in the mouth that lingers for days, sometimes even weeks. Every bite of food, even sweet fruit, tastes unpleasant or metallic. For seniors, this isn't just annoying. It can ruin appetite, reduce food intake, and lead to unintended weight loss, nutrient deficiencies, and even dehydration. I recall Mrs. Jensen, a 74-year-old retired nurse, who began adding pine nuts to her oatmeal because she'd read they were good for the heart. Within days, she complained that everything she ate tasted like metal. She lost interest in meals and dropped nearly 6 pounds in just over a month. Her doctor eventually traced the problem back to pine nuts, specifically a batch from a grocery store that sourced from a variety linked to pine mouth. Once she stopped eating them, her taste slowly returned to normal, but her strength took weeks to recover. Scientists believe pine mouth is caused by a specific species of pine nut, Pinus armandi, which is sometimes mixed in with edible varieties in bulk packages. While the reaction is not poisonous in the traditional sense, it disrupts taste perception in a way that can seriously harm seniors, who are already at higher risk of malnutrition. Beyond pine mouth, pine nuts are calorie-dense, about 190 calories per ounce. For older adults with reduced metabolism, frequent consumption can contribute to weight gain. And when stored improperly, their delicate oils spoil quickly, leading to rancidity. Rancid fats create free radicals that may damage cells and blood vessels, further harming senior health. Research in the Journal of Food Protection has noted increasing reports of pine mouth, especially in the U.S. and Europe, tied to imported pine nuts. The FDA has even issued advisories, warning consumers about the condition. While not life-threatening, the risk is especially concerning for older adults whose nutritional status is fragile. So what's the bottom line? Pine nuts may look luxurious, but for seniors, they carry risks that far outweigh their benefits. The possibility of pine mouth, combined with their high calorie load and tendency to spoil, makes them a poor choice for daily eating. If you enjoy pesto, consider using alternatives like walnuts or sunflower seeds instead. They provide healthy fats without the risk of ruining your appetite and sense of taste. Remember, food should bring nourishment and pleasure. If a nut threatens both, it doesn't belong on your plate, especially after 60. 4. Bitter almonds, the hidden poison. When most people think of almonds, they imagine the sweet, crunchy nuts found in snack packs, almond butter, or almond milk. Sweet almonds are indeed healthy when eaten in moderation. But there's another kind, bitter almonds, that can be extremely dangerous, especially for seniors. Bitter almonds look almost identical to sweet almonds, but they contain a compound called amygdalin. When digested, amygdalin breaks down into cyanide, a highly toxic substance. Even a small handful of bitter almonds can cause symptoms of poisoning, including dizziness, headache, stomach cramps, and nausea. In larger amounts, it can be life-threatening. This is not just a theoretical concern. I recall Mr. Thompson, a 70-year-old who bought what he thought was a bag of raw almonds at a local market. Within hours of eating just a few, he felt lightheaded, nauseous, and had difficulty breathing. He was rushed to the hospital, where doctors confirmed cyanide poisoning from bitter almonds. Fortunately, he survived, but it was a frightening reminder that not all almonds are safe. Scientific research supports this danger. A report in the European Food Safety Authority journal confirmed that bitter almonds contain enough amygdalin to cause cyanide toxicity even at low doses. That's why bitter almonds are banned from direct sale as food in the U.S. However, they sometimes still show up in specialty stores, labeled as raw almonds or imported without clear distinction. Seniors who may not know the difference can easily mistake them for the healthy sweet variety. The risk is even greater for older adults. As we age, our liver and kidneys become less efficient at detoxifying harmful substances. This means cyanide from bitter almonds lingers longer in the body, causing more damage in less time. For seniors with heart disease, cyanide poisoning can also trigger dangerous arrhythmias or sudden drops in blood pressure. Unlike sweet almonds, which provide healthy fats, vitamin E, and magnesium, bitter almonds offer no safe nutritional advantage. Their risks far outweigh any potential benefit. That's why food authorities worldwide warn consumers never to eat raw bitter almonds and to be cautious about buying unfamiliar varieties from unknown sources. So what's the bottom line? Bitter almonds may look harmless, but they are not meant to be eaten raw. For seniors, even a few can be dangerous, and there are no health benefits that justify the risk. Stick with sweet almonds if you enjoy them, and always buy from trusted sources. Remember, sometimes two foods can look alike, but one nourishes while the other poisons. Knowing the difference can literally save your life. 5. Horse chestnuts, the dangerous look-alike. Few things bring back fall memories like roasted chestnuts. Sweet chestnuts are a seasonal favorite, often enjoyed warm with their soft, nutty flavor. But here's the danger. There's a toxic cousin called horse chestnut, and it looks so similar that many people can't tell the difference. For seniors, mistaking one for the other can have serious, even life-threatening consequences. Horse chestnuts contain a chemical compound called aesculin. Unlike the healthy antioxidants found in sweet chestnuts, aesculin is toxic. Ingesting even a small amount can cause severe digestive upset, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach cramps. In larger amounts, it can lead to dehydration, confusion, and in rare cases, neurological symptoms or kidney damage. I remember a case from a local community garden group where a 68-year-old man, Mr. Roberts, collected chestnuts from a tree near his home. Believing they were the same as the ones he used to buy at holiday markets, he roasted them and shared them with his wife. Within hours, both developed violent stomach pain and diarrhea. They were rushed to the hospital, where doctors identified the nuts as horse chestnuts, not the edible sweet chestnuts they had grown up with. Thankfully, both recovered, but it was a frightening reminder of how easy it is to confuse the two. The danger for seniors is even greater. Older adults often have weaker digestion and slower recovery from dehydration. A bout of vomiting and diarrhea that a younger person might shake off in a day can send a senior to the emergency room with dangerously low blood pressure or kidney strain. Scientific studies confirm this risk. According to the National Institutes of Health, all parts of the horse chestnut tree, including leaves, bark, and especially the seeds, contain aesculin, which is toxic to humans. That's why horse chestnut seeds are never sold as food. However, they sometimes appear in parks, gardens, or as decorative items where they can be mistaken for edible chestnuts. Adding to the confusion, horse chestnuts are slightly rounder and glossier than sweet chestnuts, but unless you're familiar with both, they look almost identical. Seniors with vision problems are especially vulnerable to this kind of mistake. So what's the bottom line? Horse chestnuts are not food. Unlike sweet chestnuts, they offer no nutritional benefit and carry significant risk. For older adults, even a small amount can lead to dangerous illness. If you enjoy chestnuts, stick with those clearly labeled for human consumption, purchased from trusted grocery stores or markets. Never pick chestnuts off the ground unless you are absolutely certain of the variety. Remember, when it comes to nuts, appearances can be deceiving. What looks like a wholesome seasonal snack could instead be a toxic hazard, especially for seniors whose bodies are less resilient. So now you've seen the 5 nuts that can quietly harm seniors, even when they look healthy on the outside. But don't worry, the story doesn't end there. Because while some nuts should never touch your plate, there are others, rare, powerful, and often overlooked, that can do incredible things for your health after 60. Let's turn to the 5 best nuts seniors should eat daily. And we'll begin with one of the least known, yet most powerful, the pili nut one, pili nuts. The magnesium powerhouse seniors have been missing. If you've never heard of pili nuts, you're not alone. They come from trees that grow mainly in the Philippines, and only recently have they started appearing in American health food stores. They're buttery, rich, and smooth. Some describe them as even creamier than macadamias. But what makes Pili nuts truly special isn't just their taste, it's their unique nutritional profile, which is especially important for older adults. Pili nuts are one of the richest natural sources of magnesium, a mineral that most seniors don't get enough of. Magnesium is crucial for relaxing muscles, preventing leg cramps, and supporting nerve function. Low magnesium levels are strongly linked with tingling hands, restless legs, and even irregular heartbeats. Just a small serving of Pili nuts can deliver nearly a third of your daily magnesium needs. They're also packed with vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects blood vessels and nerves from damage. For seniors at risk of neuropathy, memory decline, or heart problems, this vitamin provides extra defense against aging-related stress. I recall Mrs. Alvarez, a 71-year-old retired teacher who often woke up at night with painful calf cramps. She had tried bananas for potassium, but the cramps persisted. When she started adding just a few Pili nuts to her evening snack 3 times a week, the difference was remarkable. Within a month, her nighttime cramps eased, and she said she felt more steady when walking in the morning. Science supports these experiences. A study in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition showed that higher magnesium intake reduces the risk of muscle weakness and frailty in older adults. Another review highlighted vitamin E's role in slowing nerve degeneration and protecting against cognitive decline. Pili nuts happen to combine both of these nutrients in one simple package. The best part? They're also gentle on digestion. Unlike cashews, which can trigger kidney stones, or Brazil nuts, which risk selenium overload, Pili nuts provide balance, rich nutrients without hidden dangers. How can you use them? Because of their buttery texture, Pili nuts are perfect as a snack on their own. They can also be blended into smoothies, sprinkled over oatmeal, or used as a base for homemade nut butter. Since they're so nutrient-dense, you only need a small handful a few times a week to see benefits. Here's the bottom line. Pili nuts may be rare, but for seniors, they're one of the best-kept secrets in nutrition. They protect your nerves, relax your muscles, and strengthen your heart, making them a nut truly worth discovering. 2. Sacha Inchi, the Inca peanut that feeds the brain and heart. If Pili nuts are the hidden treasure of Southeast Asia, then Sacha Inchi, often called the Inca peanut, is the gift of South America. Grown in the Amazon for centuries, this star-shaped seed looks nothing like a peanut, but it's quickly gaining attention among nutrition experts worldwide. For seniors, Sacha Inchi may be one of the most powerful foods you've never tried, especially for protecting the brain, heart, and circulation. The secret of Sacha Inchi lies in its extraordinary content of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids. In fact, it has more omega-3 per serving than almost any other nut or seed. Omega-3s are essential for reducing inflammation, improving blood vessel flexibility, and keeping nerve signals strong. For seniors struggling with tingling hands, weak legs, or memory lapses, this makes Sacha Inchi uniquely valuable. It's also rich in protein, about 9 grams per ounce, which is unusually high for a plant food. This makes it ideal for maintaining muscle mass after 60, when age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia, becomes a major concern. Add to that its supply of vitamin A and antioxidants, and you have a seed that supports not just strength, but also sharper vision and healthier immunity. I think of Mr. Ramirez, a 70-year-old originally from Peru who grew up eating roasted Sacha Inchi seeds. When he moved to the U.S., he stopped, and over time noticed more stiffness in his joints and trouble with his memory. A few years ago, his daughter found Sacha Inchi oil at a health store and encouraged him to add it back into his diet. Within months, he felt his concentration improve, and his doctor even noted better cholesterol levels. He smiled and said, "It feels like I reconnected with the food of my childhood, and it's healing me again." The science is just as impressive. A study in the Journal of Clinical Lipidology found that Sacha Inchi oil significantly improved cholesterol balance, lowering LDL bad cholesterol and raising HDL good cholesterol. Another trial showed its omega-3 content reduced inflammatory markers and improved circulation in older adults. For brain health, research consistently links omega-3 intake with reduced risk of Alzheimer's and slower cognitive decline. Unlike some nuts that can be harsh on digestion, Sacha Inchi is also known to be easy on the stomach, making it a good choice for seniors with sensitive digestion. It can be eaten roasted like a nut, ground into powder for smoothies, or used as oil for salads and light cooking. Here's the bottom line. Sacha Inchi is not just another nut. It's a complete package of omega-3s, protein, and antioxidants that support the brain, heart, and muscles. For seniors, it may be one of the simplest ways to fight inflammation, preserve memory, and keep circulation strong. Remember, the best foods for longevity are often the ones that have nourished traditional cultures for centuries. Sacha Inchi is proof that sometimes the ancient staples are still the smartest choices today. 3. Black walnuts, the stronger cousin of regular walnuts. Most people are familiar with the common English walnut, the kind you see in grocery stores and holiday desserts. But fewer know about its darker, more potent cousin. The black walnut, native to North America, black walnuts are less widely sold, harder to crack, and carry a stronger, earthier flavor. Yet what they lack in popularity, they more than make up for in nutrition. For seniors, black walnuts may offer even more powerful protection for the heart, blood vessels, and nerves than regular walnuts. Black walnuts are exceptionally rich in polyphenols, natural compounds that act as antioxidants, fighting inflammation and oxidative stress. These polyphenols, along with ellagic acid, help protect blood vessels from hardening and reduce damage to nerve tissues. For seniors, this translates to better circulation, less tingling in the hands and feet, and stronger brain health. They also provide a robust supply of omega-3 fatty acids, though slightly less than English walnuts, still enough to improve cholesterol balance and support memory. What makes them unique is their higher content of certain bioactive compounds that target inflammation, something every older adult needs as the body ages. I recall Mrs. Patterson, a 73-year-old from Kentucky, who had grown up with black walnut trees in her backyard. She used to dislike the effort it took to crack them open, but later in life, after struggling with arthritis and poor circulation in her legs, she began eating them regularly again, just a few kernels sprinkled on her oatmeal. Within months, she noticed less stiffness in her joints and a new steadiness when she walked. She told me, "It feels like I rediscovered an old friend, and it's helping me age with strength." Science confirms these benefits. A study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that black walnuts had significantly higher antioxidant activity compared to English walnuts. Another analysis linked regular consumption of black walnuts to improvements in vascular function and reduced inflammation markers, both key for seniors at risk of heart disease or neuropathy. Black walnuts also provide a good amount of magnesium, phosphorus, and folate, which support bone health and nerve repair. For older adults dealing with muscle weakness or tingling, these nutrients add an extra layer of protection. How can seniors enjoy them? Because black walnuts have a stronger, slightly bitter flavor, they're often best used in baking, sprinkled into cereals, or mixed with yogurt. Even a small handful a few times a week can deliver benefits without overwhelming the palate. Here's the bottom line. Black walnuts may not be as easy to find as their lighter cousins, but they are worth seeking out. Their rich antioxidants and nerve protective compounds make them one of the most powerful nuts for seniors who want to stay sharp, strong, and steady. Remember, sometimes the foods that take a little extra effort, like cracking open a tough black walnut shell, are the ones that deliver the greatest rewards. 4. Hemp seeds, the tiny seeds that power muscles and blood flow. At first glance, hemp seeds look unimpressive, tiny pale kernels that you can sprinkle on just about anything. Many seniors overlook them, thinking they're just another trendy health food. But the truth is, Hemp seeds are one of the most complete plant foods available, and for older adults, they can be a game changer for circulation, muscle strength, and heart health. Unlike many plant-based foods, hemp seeds contain all 9 essential amino acids, making them a complete protein source. That's rare in the plant world. For seniors, this matters because muscle loss, sarcopenia, accelerates after 60. Getting enough quality protein every day helps maintain leg strength, balance, and independence. Just 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds provide nearly 10 grams of protein, enough to meaningfully support muscle repair. But hemp seeds don't stop there. They're also packed with arginine, an amino acid that helps the body produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes and widens blood vessels, improving circulation and lowering blood pressure. For seniors with cold hands and feet, tingling, or weak legs, this improved blood flow can make a noticeable difference in comfort and stamina. I think of Mr. Wilson, a 75-year-old retired mailman. He struggled with high blood pressure and leg fatigue, and he wasn't keen on adding more meat to his diet. His daughter suggested he try hemp seeds in his morning oatmeal. Within 2 months, not only did his blood pressure readings improve, but he also reported more energy during his daily walks. He laughed and told me, "Those little seeds are stronger than they look." Science backs up his experience. A study published in the European Journal of Nutrition showed that hemp seed protein lowered blood pressure and improved vascular health in adults with hypertension. Other research highlights hemp's ideal ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, which reduces inflammation, a key driver of nerve pain and cardiovascular disease in seniors. And unlike other nuts that may carry hidden risks, like oxalates in cashews or selenium overload in Brazil nuts, hemp seeds are generally well-tolerated and safe for daily use. They're also soft and easy to chew, making them ideal for seniors with dental issues. How can you use them? Hemp seeds have a mild, nutty flavor and can be sprinkled on salads, stirred into yogurt, blended into smoothies, or added to soups. They don't need to be cooked, which helps preserve their delicate oils. Here's the bottom line. Hemp seeds may be small, but they deliver big benefits. They build muscle, improve circulation, and protect the heart, exactly what seniors need to stay strong and independent. Remember, sometimes the tiniest foods hold the greatest strength, and hemp seeds prove that a handful of something small can keep your body moving with power. So today, we've taken a full journey through the world of nuts, foods that can either harm or heal, depending on the choices you make. We began with the 5 dangerous nuts: cashews, Brazil nuts, common pine nuts, bitter almonds, and horse chestnuts. On the surface, they look natural and harmless. But for seniors, even small amounts can bring real risks, from kidney stones and selenium toxicity to digestive troubles and even poisoning. These are the nuts that quietly work against your health, even when you think you're making the right choice. Then we turn to the 5 best nuts: pili nuts, Sacha Inchi, black walnuts, hemp seeds, and premium pine nuts. These are not the ones you see in every supermarket aisle. They're rarer, less familiar, but packed with powerful nutrients that strengthen muscles, calm nerves, improve circulation, and even protect memory. For seniors who want to stay strong and independent after 60, these are the nuts worth seeking out. The key takeaway is this: not all nuts are created equal. What matters isn't just adding nuts to your diet. It's choosing the right ones in the right amounts for your body's changing needs. By avoiding the harmful and embracing the truly healing, you give yourself the best chance to live with energy, clarity, and vitality. If you found this video helpful, I'd love for you to join our community here at Senior Healthcare. Every week, I share simple, science-based tips to help older adults stay strong and independent through the power of nutrition and lifestyle. So don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell, and share this video with a friend or loved one who may also benefit. Remember, even the smallest choices, like which nuts you eat, can shape the strength of your tomorrow.